San Diego is arguably more desirable than LA by a million. By a million. Currently in the NWSL, there are three clubs without a head coach: Angel City, as we just discussed at length, Houston Dash, and San Diego Wave. And frankly, since there's three of us and three coaching vacancies, we decided to have a little fun. We each picked a team and we are going to be the new head coach. So congratulations, we've all got new jobs and we are now head coaches of NWSL teams. But when we do this hiring, now we get to talk about it. We're in our first press conference and we are breaking down to everyone our first orders of business as the new head coaches of these teams, our lineup, styles that we're going to play, trades we're going to do, our plan for the year. Okay, so first up, Sandra, we are going with you. Congratulations, you are the new head coach of the Houston Dash. What the heck are you going to do to get this team out of the cellar?
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what? Houston was like, "Hey, we heard Attacking Third is like constantly talking about Houston Dash and what they need to do. You do it. You do the job." And gotta say, not easy. When I was thinking about it, I was like, "Oh boy, there's a lot of work to be done." But they've made some moves already. One of them, again, similar to Angel City, we were just talking about this last segment, where I want some things to look a little different. For me, it is on the executive side. They did just hire Angela Hughley's to go ahead and ultimately be what is president of soccer operations. So it's a little bit different. I think and maybe folks are thinking that she's going to have more of a role like a GM because that's her experience, but that's not really what it's going to be with Houston. They still actually have their interim general manager Eric Ustruck involved, and he's actually with this new hiring of Angela Hughley, so he's going to continue to really be responsible for the player transactions. And for me, at this point in your off season, there have been so many moves that have already been done. There's been a lot of re-signings for Houston Dash. They went ahead and insured up some things. They had a number of free agents on that list, and they've re-upped with a lot of them already. And I think at this point, with some of these moves that have happened before the year's end, for me, I'm just kind of like, just remove the tag. Like that's your GM. Like moving forward, because I need some of those positions to be solidified, and another one of those is obviously the head coaching position as well. So remove the interim tag, give the keys to Eric. He's obviously driving the car already. Just let it go ahead and do that. Now you need a head coach. So I'm a little bit curious about what direction they could go here. But I do wonder if Twyla Kilgore's services are still available, and if coaching at the club level is something that she wants to return to. I'll say because she's not a stranger to being on a coaching staff for clubs. She was with Houston Dash once before in a full time assistant role. But what would that look like for her with a long season in front of her as head coach? And it's a little bit different after you've got a little bit of a taste of the glory, right, of the international stage. I would argue
Hmm.
that maybe, just maybe, she could be a candidate for some other national team programs if she really wanted to do that. But if you're Houston, I think similar to some other franchises, you want to make sure that you nail your head coaching position because this is a franchise that has had constant changes in this role. They have not had a reliable head coach in the role for longer than 2 seasons at this point. And so they really need to get someone, not only a big name, but someone who wants to commit to build with the Houston Dash because there's a little bit of that energy for me with Houston, kind of like a bit of burning it down and building it back up because this is a team that has just struggled. And every once in a while, when they have reached a little bit of a pinnacle, they find themselves sort of back in some trials and tribulations. And I think consistency is something that could almost be viewed as a layer of success for this team moving forward. So I think they have to nail the head coaching hire. I think Twyla Kilgore could be potentially a really good person to get in the role because during her time as U.S. Soccer interim, we saw that she was a very collaborative type of coach. She and Emma Hayes talked a lot about how they had to work together to put together the best team. And under their duoship, we saw a lot of players get first caps, make their debuts, earn their first minutes. So she's not a stranger to trying new things and getting new players in the mix. So I think that's where that could work out really, really nicely for them. And then I think outside of that, once you get the GM, full GM, no more interim, good head coach, you got to try to figure out how to sign, get, recruit, whatever, acquire some type of franchise player. And I mean an attacking a franchise player. Because that really, I think if we want to go back in the time, I don't know if we've seen that for Houston Dash since maybe Kaylee Watt and maybe Rachel Daly after Watt departed for Chicago. So I think there's been a struggle. I think there was an attempt to make that player become Maria Sanchez. We've talked a lot about what happened there with
Mhm.
Houston. This is the player that was unhappy with some of the dysfunctionality of this organization, requested a trade. And so that was very, very short-lived. So I think they need to absolutely find that type of a more attacking-minded type of franchise player that they can continue to build around or with moving forward. So again, like the ideas of building out through the back, through defensive, but they've got those pieces. I think for me, I like that they made that move for Paige Nielsen. Tarsiani is going to be massive for them in the future. Making sure that they locked up Natalie Jacobs. These are players that showed some really early and good signs of chemistry playing together for their first time in 2024. So I can only imagine that that's going to improve in 2025. And then you got Jane Campbell. That's more. It feels like it's more or less solidified. I'd like one more piece, but I think getting a Kilgore-ish type of coach in there, getting back to simple things. I'm feeling, kind of like 4-4-2 kind of energy for Houston.
Ooh.
Makes just simplify it. Simplify it, especially when you still have a ton of players who have kind of been with this franchise for a little while that probably desperately really want some direction and areas to go. So just simplify it. 4-4-2 energy. Maybe let's have some fun. Let's see what happens in Diamond. If that doesn't work, switch it up. But let's go. I just want to simplify things for this team moving forward. Get back to maybe even having some fun, bring some joy back, because I don't think we've seen a lot of that for this Houston Dash franchise.
No, there has been a lack of fun for sure in Houston with this team and what they can do. Cassandra, it sounds like you took over the head coaching role and then you gave it to Twyla Kilgore.
Yes,
That's what
correct.
I was wondering
I was
too.
like, goodbye. I was like, I've done my time. I've done my best friend Alonso. I'm out. Uh, take it over from here. See ya.
Sandra's literally like, I don't want this job.
Who does? Who really does at this point?
You're right. Who does want that job? Okay, I like this plan. Simplify things at Houston Dash. A 4-4-2. Defensively they're solid. They just got to get people to score goals, and they need a coach that'll stay with them for more than a year. And Sandra already left them, so they're off to a bad start.
I'm just part of the narrative. I'm just part of the
The
problem.
carousel continues.
I'm part of the problem. What can I say?
Add a name to the list.
Toxica,
Okay,
toxica,
D,
right here.
congratulations. You're moving back to LA. You did it.
Woo!
You
Thank
are
you, thank
Angel
you.
City's new head coach.
Thank you. My first move would be to hire Carmelina Moscato. I would poach her from Louisville to be my assistant coach. First move, let's get a
That's
trustworthy coach.
literally my first move. Are you kidding me?
Is it really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm
That
coming after her.
well, you're going third, so you don't get her. I
Ah,
would poach Carmelina Moscato to come be my first assistant. We would be honestly equal head coaches here. I don't want that much responsibility.
nice.
I'm here for vibes.
Co-coaching.
Let's keep it cool. I would bring in Abby Smith. I immediately went to who were players that I would want to build my team around. Abby Smith. She's an aggressive goalkeeper. She's needs to leave Gotham in my opinion. I don't think she's going to get the playing time that she deserves. She's coming off of a big injury. This is a player that's hungry to come back and prove themselves. I think that Angel City's back line is actually pretty solid. I think that they could play 3-back. You guys know I love a modified 3-back. I want to send it. I think with Vanessa Gilles coming back, Sarah Gordon and Vignola, they have the speed,
Good stuff.
the adaptability to be able to play something like that, and very aggressive, very good players that can play balls forward and cover a lot of ground in the same vein. I think that they need to bulk up though in the attack. Like I said before, Marta's obviously a free agent who I don't think is going to leave Orlando, but that I would try to poach for. And I'm going to take some notes from Haley Carter and Seb Hines. Vai Orlando. Let's get some Brazilians over here. Caroline, Gabby Portillo, I think as a player that I would love to have as a 9, to maybe play in a 3-5-2 where we're playing a double 9 and double pivot. Very technical player that's really aggressive, player you can almost build your team around up top, because she likes to check in. Imagine the combination play with Claire Emsley. I can see that relationship happening already. And one other player I would love to bring, Jenny Hermoso.
Nice.
Need some big names. You need some stars. LA is a place. I'm happy I picked LA because LA is you don't have to sell it. People want to live in LA. It's a desirable market. So I think that those players could come over, could make a big difference. Get Rocky Rodriguez playing. She's a player that can be the solid 6 for you to build your team around in that midfield. Junendo's coming back from injury. That's massive for them. So yeah, those are the moves I'm making. And then again, I would try to poach Haley Carter away from Orlando. I'm just taking the good from each team. I would
just
poach
stealing
Haley Carter
everybody.
away. Yeah, hey, we got Disney money. Let's go. What do you want?
Oh,
You want a house on the beach? We can do that for you. We got
Nice.
Disney money. So those are people I would bring around me that are trustworthy, that know the game. They have experience playing. I think is huge, a huge asset to get buy-in from your players. And I think that we would win the league. So how do you
Yeah.
head coach?
Yeah.
Look at that. Good head coach energy.
Yeah.
Not like me where I'm like,
Oh, I think
Me,
Coach
Carm,
would
and
be-
Haley Carter. All vibes.
I'm like,
Well, you've literally poached 2 of my people already. It's
Incredible.
fine. I'll pivot. I'll move on to someone else because San Diego is arguably more desirable than LA by a million. By a million. So I don't have a lot of heavy lifting to do in terms of convincing people to come with me to San Diego. But as the new head coach of San Diego Wave, my first duty is re-signing Danielle Colaprico as a free agent, getting her back on the roster. I want her with me.
All right.
And I can't have Carm, but I'm going to go get Adrian Gonzalez. I'm going to say, come with me to San Diego. I'll show you the West Coast.
That's a good shout.
And we can make magic here. And he is going to be the tactician behind what we do and how we grow this team. I also am going to hire Jill Lloyden as my goalkeeper coach. I think I could get her to come to San Diego.
Oh,
So now
that's a
I've
good
got
one.
Nice.
defensive structure on the lock. On the lock, building out of the back, whatever I want to do, I can do that tactically with who I have. I'm also going to need to center, like, kind of shore up my defense a little bit, and I'm going to go after some Germans. I want to get Julia Gwynn on my roster, and I also want Jule Brand on my roster
Nice.
because with players like Maria Sanchez that I have, with Danielle Colaprico that I'm re-signing in the midfield, I've got Jaden Shaw. I'm going to play in a 3-5-2. And I'm going to have wingbacks, and they're going to
Lisa,
go.
what the hell?
Wow.
And guess what,
Similarity.
Darian? I just stole the shield and the championship from you, just like that,
Love it.
because of what I was able to do and bring in. But it's really, it starts with my coaching staff and my ownership group and what we're going to do there. And it all trickles down. I've got young players like Mel Barcenas that I'm going to grow to be a certain kind of player that can play really on both sides of the ball. I think we could put her in a wing back position on one side with Maria Sanchez on the other. And we're just going to cook. We're going to
Nice.
cook and we're going to win. You like that?
Lisa's
You guys
acting like
that?
she's got the Disney money. What's going on here?
Yeah, what? Only one of us has Disney money. Let's take a step back here.
Okay, Mickey Mouse.
Come
dollars.
on.
Right. But I didn't bring in that many people, right? Darian changed everything at Angel City.
I didn't change
am
everything.
just-
I think it's a place where players would kill to play and live in
Yeah.
that market. You can make so much more money even just being in LA. There's opportunity to do much more than just
Boy,
being
oh
on
boy.
pitch.
I'm over here trying to pitch Houston.
I'm
like,
trying to
what-
pay people.
What am I gonna do? Be like, yeah, come through. It's not quite a walkable city, but we got good food.
It's
like,
hot.
It takes 20 minutes to go everywhere. It's hella hot.
We got crazy thunderstorms in the summer, Sandra.
That's why my
That's
first move was getting Twyla Kilgore and peacing out.
I would say
I'm moving.
I debated taking them because I would say let's move to Austin. Screw this. This place is plagued for a team here. Let's go to Austin.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Okay, this was so fun. We did a poll on YouTube with the people joining us right now to talk about what coaching vacancy is the most desirable between Angel City, San Diego, and Houston. Angel City, they won by 55%. San Diego Wave 37%. No one wants to go to Houston. 7%. We also did that poll before my grand plan in San Diego, but it's fine. We're gonna win the league.
You feel like you
Sandra,
could've
I thought of one more thing you could have thrown in there. Acquire Beyonce as a majority owner.
Oh,
Like get some Cowboy Carter money.
just let her run the whole ship, honestly.
Yes.
She'll be like, I don't
Hey,
have any circus
Beyonce.
experience. I'll be like, it doesn't matter.
And
Yeah. Hey,
you'll
that's
just be like,
the deal.
"Hey,
It's Houston.
Beyonce,
Like, Beyonce
why
might
don't
come
you
to
take
games.
this average team that hasn't done a lot and we can't keep anyone hired here? Do you want to buy into this?" Yeah, that'll do it. She'll be like,
Yep.
She
"Yeah,
reps
sign
Houston
me
hard.
up."
I don't know.
Yep.
She does.
Yep.
This is true. Let us know what you would do at Angel City, San Diego, Houston Dash, how you would be the head coach. Let us know.